For the longest time, it felt like the world had a certain set of predictable rules, led by stable superpowers. But that world, it's fracturing right before our eyes. And according to political scientist Ian Bremmer, the real danger isn't just the instability we're seeing right now, it's what's coming next.
And this quote, wow, it really gets right to the heart of the problem. Think about that for a second. The United States, the very country that basically wrote the rulebook for the modern global order, has now become its most unpredictable player. The biggest risk isn't coming from some outside force anymore, it's coming from the very center of the system.
So, what happens when the world's policeman just kinda walks off the beat? Bremer has a name for it, a G0 world. It's a total power vacuum. There's no G7 or G20 that can get everybody to agree on the rules anymore. It just becomes a free-for-all, where every nation is out for itself. But that's not even the whole story. It actually gets way more complicated.
Okay, this is where the whole story takes a really fascinating turn. We're all used to thinking about global power in terms of countries, right? The US, China, Russia. But what if the most powerful players who are really shaping our future, what if they aren't countries at all? In these examples, they just make it crystal clear. I mean, think about it. You had Microsoft basically acting as its own private intelligence agency, spotting Russia's cyber attacks on Ukraine before most governments even knew what was happening. Or how about Elon Musk's Starlink? It literally became the communications backbone for Ukraine's entire defense. These tech giants are wielding the power of nations, making life or death decisions on the world stage, and get this? They're writing their own rulebook as they go. And what's pouring gasoline on this fire? What's supercharging this whole new power structure? Well, it's the single most transformative technology of our time, artificial intelligence. You can think of AI as the ultimate force multiplier here, amplifying the power of these new players to a level we've just never, ever seen before. Now, to really get the scale of what we're talking about, we have to wrap our heads around this idea of systemic risk. And look, this isn't just another problem or some challenge we can figure out later. We're talking about a threat so big, so profound, it could literally cause the entire system we all depend on, our economy, our security, the whole shebang, to just collapse. And this is not some far-off hypothetical threat. This is real, and it's happening now. The AI company Anthropic recently built a model so powerful that they themselves, the creators, warned it posed an immediate systemic risk. This thing could, in theory, find and exploit critical vulnerabilities in our infrastructure, taking down banks, power grids, water systems. The point is, this isn't science fiction anymore. The risk is here. But here's where it gets really tricky. How we see this AI-driven future depends almost entirely on where we happen to live. In the global south, there's a ton of excitement. They see AI as this incredible tool for leapfrogging development and creating huge opportunities. But in the West, the dominant feeling is, well, it's fear. Fear of job losses, fear of massive social disruption. And that huge divide in perception is creating a massive political fault line right down the middle of the planet. And all of this is setting the stage for a totally new kind of political backlash. I mean, think about it. The populist waves we've seen in the past were often driven by industrial workers who felt left behind. But AI is different. For the very first time, it's threatening the jobs of white-collar, college-educated professionals. And that, Bremer warns, is the recipe for a brand new and maybe even more potent wave of populism. So, how on earth do we manage this? Bremer proposes a three-part plan. First, AI arms control. We need to get the US and China to the table talking to prevent a dangerous tech race, just like we did with nuclear weapons. Second, an AI stability board. This would be a global body of tech experts, kind of like the one we have for the financial system, to identify and neutralize these huge threats before they spiral out of control. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, fund global access. We have to invest to make sure everyone can access AI to avoid a future where humanity is basically split into the AI haves and the AI have-nots. Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The technology we're building is borderless. It's global. It affects every single one of us on the planet. But our political systems are more fragmented and nationalistic than ever. So, can we bridge that gap? Can we build the global rules we so desperately need to manage this incredible new power before this power ends up managing us?